Okay, hi, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be the reading for Taurus for the month of April 2019. I am trying to record this reading out here in the good old nature. It's cold as fuck and the wind is blowing, but I'm still trying because I want to try something new and in a different environment. So you're going to have to bear with me if this video looks kind of like crazy or whatever. I've been out here for a little bit today and I feel like, let me try to fix the lighting a little bit. I feel like that's the message for Taurus. I'm a Taurus sun sign, and I feel like we may need to just get out in nature right now. It's a good idea. It's just really relaxing and like tranquil, and you can clear your mind. If you ever really need to clear your mind, like, you should get out in nature. Like, it's the best thing. I want to apologize for last month not being able to finish all of the readings for all the signs, even though I know I finished the one for Taurus, but for any other sign, if this is your sun, moon, or rising sign, and I didn't finish your sign, I apologize for that. I want to get more into recording videos and connecting with people and helping people out, because I feel like, you know, at some point in time I did this, I watched these videos and they helped me out a lot, and I want to stay dedicated to that. So I just want to apologize for that. I've already meditated on your energy and pulled the cards for you. I'll discuss everything else at the end. Okay, couldn't really see myself, just like working it out. So the first card that I pull for you guys is the Hierophant, and it's clarified by the card Fun and Rest. And sorry if I'm sniffling a lot because it's like cold out here and I'm already like a naturally cold person. So yeah, so it's clarified by Fun and Rest, and I feel like the Hierophant deals with like routine. It deals with doing things more by the book. I feel like sometimes it's somebody who people go to, like a leader, sometimes a spiritual leader. Maybe you guys are doing something spiritual, or some kind of leader in some kind of way. I feel like people come to you for advice for something, and I didn't understand really why it was clarified by Rest and Fun. I know those two are two different things, so I know there's some kind of duality there. Like, you need to balance the time that you spend with people and the energy that you give to people, and then the time that you spend by yourself. So I clarified that card with these two cards, and it was the Sun and it was the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So this is kind of like working with people, not working with people when it's in reverse, the Three of Pentacles, and then the Sun is like, you know, you by yourself doing things that you want to do, living life in a way that really reflects like things that you used to do when you were a child, like your inner child. Basically, like, the card deals with success. Basically, it's saying like letting your light shine. Like, your sun sign is the sign that people, that is like the true you, basically. I'm not gonna say people know the most, but the sun sign is a sign that's the true you, and it's really being yourself and living in that energy, basically. So I feel like you guys, some of you right now, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're a teacher or what kind of work that you do in the world, but I feel like you need to balance out when you go do stuff for other people, when you do your work, and then what you do outside of work. And like, rest too. Like, it can't be just all work and no play, and it can't be all play and no work. Like, just find a balance in between that. For some of you, basically, like, you need to rest. Like, your life is like all work right now. Like, you're just pretty much working all the time, and you need to balance out working all the damn time and like getting some rest. And then when you're not getting some rest, going to do things that you actually like to do, like having some fun, because I just see like a duality here. You need to find some kind of balance in between that. That's pretty much all I get with that card. Okay, so the next card that I have for you guys is the Ace of Wands in reverse, and it's clarified by the card Open-heartedness. So the Ace of Wands, when it's in reverse, is kind of talking about someone who is not following their passions or their dreams or doing things that they really want to do in life. It's like, you know, the universe, this is like the hand of God or the universe trying to give you an opportunity to do something that you really love. I'd like to do something that's fruitful, something that will be prosperous in the future, something that you can, you know, really grow from. And when it's in reverse, I just feel like you're not taking the opportunity. It's there for you to do something that you really love or like to do, no matter how big or small it is, because it makes you feel good inside. You know, it's the very passionate things, and it's clarified by open-heartedness. So it's like, I don't know what may be, especially like what may be going on in your life where you feel like you can't really open up how you want to. You can't really do the things that you want to. Maybe, like I said, life has become all work and no play. Or maybe you just feel like, you know, the people around you, I don't really know. Maybe they've said like, oh, well, you just need to do this and you need to do that, and then you retire and then you'll be happy and you can do all the things that you want to do. No, that's not how life is. Maybe for some people, but you don't have to be like that. Like, you can open up your heart. You can do the things that you want to do, because when you are living in your passion and doing the things that you want to do and like to do, you know, that makes you happy. That makes your heart like full. That makes your soul fulfilled. And I feel like it's talking about like really putting yourself out there. I just feel like some of you guys you don't want to, for whatever reason. You don't want to put yourself out there. You don't want to do those things. And I feel like opening up your heart to whatever it is that you want to do will help you out. And just realizing that you don't know how long you're going to be here for, like, you know. So you might as well enjoy and do the things that you want to do. I'm not saying don't listen to nobody ever, but just don't necessarily listen to people and what they feel like you should do. Listen to your heart and what you feel like you need. You already come equipped with everything that you need for this lifetime. So listen to yourself on what you want to do and follow that. Don't necessarily listen to what everybody else is saying about what you should do in life. Because I feel like there may be some people who are just trying to tell you to do this and do that, or maybe you're just confused about what you want to do, or maybe you know, but you would rather listen to somebody else say something that's way more comfortable for you, because you're like, okay, well, I know I can do that without taking a risk or feeling any kind of embarrassed or feeling any kind of like way, you know. It's easy for you, and you're not necessarily supposed to do the things that are easy for you. Yes, it can be easy for you, you know, whatever you like to do, but first it may be hard if you have like certain kind of attachments to that thing. Like, you really want to be a singer, and singing, when you sing, it's beautiful and it's easy for you. It flows out of you. You're naturally a singer, but because you feel like you're going to be embarrassed, it's hard for you. You know what I mean? It's hard initially, but once you just let go and just come from your heart space, it can be very easy for you. And you're meant to do that. You know, the universe or God is trying to give you that so that you can do it. That's something that you, like a gift that you have inside of you that you can give to the world and to the people around you. Okay, so the next card that I have for you guys is the Six of Cups in reverse, and it's clarified by the card Growth. So the Six of Cups in reverse, the Six of Cups card in general talks about the past, and it talks about like things that fulfilled you in the past, childhood, or old memories and stuff like that. And when it's in reverse, clarified by the card Growth, I feel like definitely it's time for you to let go of the past, whether this is a love relationship, or this is work, or this is just things. Maybe you're really kind of reflecting on things that used to make you happy, and that's cool and all, but that doesn't mean that they will make you happy now, or that doesn't mean that you have to go back to doing those things. It's clarified by Growth, so that means you've grown past those things. You've grown out of that stage. The things that used to make you happy don't make you happy anymore. And when you get older, that's kind of how it is anyway. Like, you know, certain stuff that you used to do, you used to be so happy about it. Like, for instance, I used to go out a lot, and that used to make me happy, but now that doesn't really fulfill me anymore. That's something that made me very happy once upon a time, and now it doesn't fulfill me anymore. I don't, it's not like I don't like to, oh my God. Can you get that for me? Oh, it's not like I don't like to, my cards are going all over the place. Oh my gosh. I'm going to put this right here, see if that helps. Goodness. It's like halfway cover up the cards and shit. Okay. So it's not that I don't like doing it anymore. It just doesn't make me feel the same way that it used to. So I like to do new things. Like, I like to be more adventurous rather than just go out and drink. Because after you do it for a while, it gets old and it doesn't fulfill you anymore. And that's a part of growing and growth in life. So I feel like there's some situations in the past that used to make you really happy, but they don't make you anymore. And maybe you're still doing those things, and you just have to realize you're doing them things still, but they don't make you feel as good. So, you know, start to do new things. because you've grown out of that. Maybe you've grown out of certain relationships. I feel like definitely this is from relationships, certain places, and just certain like things that just used to make you happy just don't make you happy anymore. So the next card that I have for you guys is the Six of Wands. It's in reverse and is clarified by the card Creativity. So the Six of Wands in reverse, the Six of Wands upright is talking about success. It talks about success after going out and doing what you wanted to do, going out, you know, and accomplishing something. You get success, and like it talks about public recognition and what else? Basically like prosperity and success after a time of going after what you want. You know, you put yourself out there and did something, and now you're reaping the benefits from it, and other people are noticing, and they are you know, giving you all kinds of accolades and kudos and stuff like that. So when it's in reverse, that means pretty much the opposite, like, you know, not feeling successful right now. Or sometimes when the Six of Wands is in reverse, it could mean that you are feeling inner success about something that you did. So I feel like this goes two ways for two different kind of people that I'm speaking to right now. For some of you, it's clarified by creativity. So for some of you, you've been very creative right now in what you've been doing and how you've been presenting yourself to the world, or whatever, maybe projects or something that you've been doing, and you feel very happy and you feel very successful inside because, you know, maybe you really didn't used to use your creativity as much, and now you are using it. It's just like a personal success, a personal accomplishment. And for some of you, I feel like you want to be successful. Maybe you've been working on something and you don't feel like you're getting the recognition from it, and the universe is trying to tell you to be creative. If you're doing something some way and you're not getting the results that you want to, try it a different way, of course, right? And you would think that that's so simple, but a lot of times, you know, as a Taurus, we can get stuck in our ways. We want to do something a way and then kind of stick with it because we have a hard time. We can have a hard time being versatile. Not everybody, you know, this isn't every Taurus ever, but that earth energy, that earth fixed energy is the most like solid and stuck out of all of the energies. So, you know, we can have it especially hard trying to change it up and trying to, like, you know, do new things and try new things. But, you know, the universe is letting you know, if you do try something new, if you do just use your creativity, try something in a different way. Don't really go with the ways that everybody else is doing it. If you're doing something like whatever profession that you're in, don't really do it the way that everybody else is doing. Try it your way, because that's really what's going to bring you the success that you're looking for. Yeah, so the next card that I have for you guys is the Justice card. It's in reverse and is clarified by these three cards: versatility, childlikeness, and love. So the Justice card in reverse is kind of talking about imbalance. In general, it's talking about imbalance, and it's talking about I'm not necessarily going to say lying, but it's talking about like not really living in your truth. I feel like it's not really living in your truth, not really having that balance in your life, not really feeling like things are fair, basically, when you're like, that's not fair that this is happening to me. That's not fair that I'm getting this shitty type of life or these shitty type of people coming my way. And the universe is trying to tell you, like I was just saying, it's clarified by the card versatility, to be versatile. Like literally try new things, be around new people. And childlikeness is basically like when you were a child, what did you used to do? You used to, I mean, most children, I would say, they would go play, go do things. They would try new things. You know, children aren't usually afraid of necessarily doing new things because they don't really see the risk of it. They just want to experience it. They don't see like, oh, I could hurt myself. They're more so like, oh, I could have hella fun, so I'm going to do that thing. It's not, they don't really see the negative side of it. They just see the positive side. And I guess, I feel like the universe is trying to tell you to switch things up. Find a balance in your life. like this whole reading, a lot of it has to do with balance. There's another card with a scale in it too, and there's about to be a Libra full moon on April 19th. I think it's a couple days from now, or I don't really know how many days, but Libra has all to do with the scales and balance, and that is like our, I guess, sister sign, because we're both ruled by the sign of Venus. So I would just say that you need to find the balance in your life, and you need to try new things. Kind of just get out of your shell and want to experience things for the experience of it, and go into it optimistically instead of thinking like, oh, this could go wrong. Well, what if it goes right? It could go right too. You never know unless you try, right? So it's also clarified by love. So I feel like maybe some of you guys in your love life, you may be having imbalances right now. Maybe things are too serious, or maybe things don't really seem fair or balanced. And it's like, try to do things a different way, even in your love life, whatever it is. Try to do things a different way. Talk to the person differently. Try like a different routine. I don't really know, like, you know, how everyone's love life is, but it's just like, switch it up however you fucking can, and let that person know. Communicate with them and come out of a place of love. And basically come out of a place of love, period. You know, that, like I said, Libra and Taurus are ruled by the sign of Venus, and that has a lot to do with love. Like, what would you love to do? What would you love to experience? Don't think about it as like, oh, you know, that might not go wrong. No, think about it, I would love to experience this, so I'm gonna go do it. And if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna do something else, or I'm gonna try it again. But come out of your heart space, basically, instead of your head space, because I feel like that's where you're coming from. You're coming from your head thinking like, what if, and you need to come out of the space of, I just want to do it because it would make me feel good. And that's it. Okay, so the next card that I have for you guys is the Temperance card, clarified by play and, what does this say? Strength. So the Temperance card is, it's like balancing, transmuting negative energy into positive energy, transmuting energy, realizing that they have like 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. And it's realizing that your emotions and your outside world go hand in hand. And it talks about your emotions a lot, but it talks about how like you can be dealt this. You can, it's like an alchemical thing, like, you know, the Alchemist. I think this is like a Sagittarius card, which has a lot to do with, I think, some of these cards here with these wands and stuff, like needed to take on some fire energy or just some straight up optimism. But it talks about how like you can be dealt a situation, emotional situation, and you can change something that may seem negative into positive, because you can't control your outside world, but you can control how you react to it. So that's kind of this. Even if you're in a shitty situation in your home life, or a situation that just doesn't seem like, you know, how you want it in your relationships or whatever, it's just like you can take that energy and change it into positive. Like, you actually have the power. This triangle, I think, represents mind, body, and spirit, getting aligned in your mind and your body and your spirit. So that's like your thoughts, what are you thinking, your emotions, how do you feel about things, and then your actions, do they all align? Because if they don't, yeah, of course you're gonna feel off. You're gonna feel like things aren't working for you. So if you can, you know, be aligned in your mind, body, and spirit, you'll have it together. You can take a negative situation and turn it into a positive, basically. If it's clarified by strength and play, it's definitely like you have the strength of whatever situation that you're going through to turn it into positive, because inside of you, you have the strength. No matter what happens on the outside of you, you know that you can change a situation, or you can still be positive in a situation that may seem negative. And the play card, to me, I feel like it talks about like how basically if you're in a situation that's not so positive, that doesn't feel so positive, go do something else. Like, go play, go do something. That's another way how you can transmute negative energy into positive energy. Like, you're really pissed off at somebody, or somebody made you mad, or whatever happened, and like you just decide, all right, I'm gonna go for a swim, or I'm gonna go ride my bike, or I'm gonna go play pool, or whatever it is that you like to do, whatever's considered play for you, go do that, because that will take that negative energy and transmute it into positive energy. It'll redirect that energy, because that energy is inside of you. You know, once you embody it, it's inside of you, and you basically redirect it into something else and turn it into positive. Like sometimes when people get mad, they go play sports, and that works out for them. Sometimes other people, it doesn't work out because it just doesn't. But for some people it does. They go play sports when they get mad because they take that energy and change it into something good. And I feel like for some of you, that's definitely what you need to do. Go out and do something that you like to do. That's usually like I would say an active thing, so you can actually physically, you know, kinetically get the energy out of your body, whatever that is for you. And if you don't really do stuff a lot, I mean, maybe just try something new. Go play basketball, go play tennis, go do whatever. Like get out of your head and into your body. If there's a situation, like I said, that you don't like, instead of lashing out at that person or just sitting there and being mad, go do something. Go release that energy. You don't want that up inside of you. That's just not good for you. And if that shit stays inside of you, that turns into diseases and sicknesses. So, you know, let that energy out of you, basically. Okay, so the next card that I have for you guys, the sun is so nice on my skin right now. It looks so nice. Okay, the next card that I have for you guys is the six. I think it's the six. Yeah, the Six of Swords upright, and it's clarified by the cards aspiration, experience, and touch. So the Six of Swords talks about, I believe this is the 6, not the 7. I think it's the 6. It talks about moving away from situations that no longer serve you. In the card, if I can pull these other cards off, there's like some waters right here that are like more wavy and stuff like that, and they're basically moving on to the calmer waters that are like not like that. You know, literally moving away from choppy waters, choppy emotions, things that emotionally rile you up, to waters that are more calm, more serene, where you can have your peace. And the swords are mental energy. You know, the swords are communication and mental energy and thoughts. And they are basically like, you're taking the lessons with you. So, you know, how basically people say, like, you know, that was a waste of time. Nothing is a waste of time. You literally, if you don't want to be there, you can move around, but take the energy with you, take the lessons with you, take whatever with you that you learn. Nothing is a waste of time, because it's always a lesson learned, right? So you can just take that energy with you. So that's clarified by, like I said, aspiration, experience, and touch. I feel like it's talking about, well, if it says experience, of course, you've had experiences. And instead of letting them bring you down, and instead of letting them make you feel like less than a person, instead of relating negativity to those experiences, relate positivity to those experiences. So basically be inspired and aspired to do something better. Aspire and want to have better than that, and aspire to I don't know, it's like with the touch card, I feel like it's talking about like getting in touch with yourself, getting in touch with your emotions. It's really like about transmuting energy. I feel like it's like you had an experience happen to you, and that experience felt shitty, and it made you sad or mad or whatever. And it's like, instead of being like, oh my god, that experience was so sucky, and like, or just moving along sad, being like, you know what, I learned something from this, and I'm gonna do better than this, and I'm gonna let this really touch me in a good way, not in a bad way. I'm going to let this empower me instead of disempower me, basically. Regardless if this is like work, you know, a job that you may have lost, or a career that you may have to change, or a relationship, or a family situation, whatever it is. Okay, so the next card that I have for you guys is the Hangman upright, and that's clarified by the cards efficiency and knowledge. So the Hangman upright talks about going in, literally the word knowledge, going in to seek inner knowledge when you have a question about something, when you don't know what to do. It's kind of getting by yourself and getting quiet and seeking whatever answers to the questions that you're trying to find. It talks about, like, you know, he has this like this thing highlighted over his head, like this is like knowledge. He's acquiring knowledge, And it also talks about your perspective and looking at things from a different point of view, because of course if he's upside down, so you know, if you were like right side up, or if you like literally walked upside down all damn day, you would look at the world way differently because everything would be flipped upside down. But it also talks about looking at things from a different perspective. The word efficiency is kind of like doing things in a manner like that doesn't waste your time or energy. So you've realized some things. I feel like you guys are, if you guys aren't doing this, this is what you need to do. But I feel like you are going within and realizing like, okay, so that didn't really work before, so I need to do things in a better way so that I don't waste so much time and I don't waste so much energy on people, on places, on whatever the fuck I'm doing, so that I can have the result that I want to have from it. I feel like specifically this is love, you know, like what have you been doing, who have you been giving your time to, and now you know better. Like, all right, you know, if somebody's not reciprocating the energy that I'm giving to them, I definitely just need to fucking switch it up. I need to pull my energy back or do things in a different way. I know this now because I've gone through the experience, literally, like the last card that I was saying. And if it was for like a career or job or something, I just feel like, you know, you realize that's not working, especially if you're working on a creative project. You're like, this is not working. I have to do things in a different way. I know now that I need to do things in a quicker amount of time with like the most, I need to do things, basically get things done in a shorter amount of time as efficiently as I can. Maybe I can cut this step out and do something else and that will work for me. You know what I mean? So the next card that I have for you guys is the Three of Cups in reverse, clarified by the card Vulnerability and Outrageousness. So the Three of Cups, when it's upright, talks about my thighs are falling. Oh, everything's slipping. The Three of Cups, when it's upright, talks about sharing emotional experiences with people, family, friends, partying, sometimes third-party situations, but I don't think that that's what that is. It talks about basically sharing your emotions with other people. And it's in reverse, so I feel like, give me one sec. So when it's in reverse, I feel like this card talks about like you not sharing your emotions or your feelings with other people for whatever reason. This could be your family, friends, in life in general, whatever. It's clarified by the card Vulnerability and Outrageousness. So I don't know, for the people that you're around, you don't feel like you want to share your emotions with for some reason, because maybe they feel like your emotions are outrageous, you know, they feel like they're extra. For a few of you, I feel like it may be that you don't want to share your emotions with the people around you because of that. But for some of you, I feel like you need to do this. You're not communicating with people, you're letting yourself be like all to yourself, by yourself, for yourself, and that's, you're not meant to be alone here if you're on Earth. Like, yes, you are all that you need, but we need human interactions. We need that emotional connection between people, you know, because that's a part of human. That's a part of human nature. That's a part of, you know, we have soul-to-soul connections, basically. So I feel like it's like you need to make yourself vulnerable. And maybe you feel like what you feel is like outrageous. You feel like it's over the top, you know. You just need to communicate with people. You need to make yourself vulnerable enough to communicate with people. And maybe it may seem like just too much. It may seem like you're being extra. You're not being extra for the way you feel. Maybe that's why you don't want to communicate with people, because you just feel like people will think that your emotions are just unreasonable. No, they won't be. You have to find the right kind of people to communicate with. You know, you got to find your tribe, or you got to find people who relate to you. Of course, don't just give your energy to people who don't relate to you, because then, you know, you feel like you're just talking to the damn wall. You just feel like I just talk to my damn self. There are people out there who you can communicate with, and I'm pretty sure there is at least one person that you could communicate with, that you can let know your feelings, that won't feel like you're being over the top or anything like that. I feel like just allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to, you know, like, because like I said, sometimes you may feel like people will look at you funny or think that you're stupid or whatever. So what? So what if they don't understand you? One day they probably will understand you, or they won't. that you risk looking stupid, basically. I feel like that's what you feel like. You risk looking stupid if you let somebody know how you really feel. You don't. All you're doing is expressing your emotions. And like I said, when you keep that shit in the inside, it's not good for you. You always need to let that out. Let it out and let people know how you feel. Okay, so the next card that I have for you guys, my hands are so cold, so I'm just really trying to finish this up. But I really wanted to get this done in nature, so I'm gonna keep pushing until I get it done. The next card I have for you guys is the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and it's clarified by the card Optimism and Confidence. So the Six of Pentacles, like I said, this was the other scale card. This talks about an imbalance. It's either in your it could be in anything, in relationships and your money, especially because there's pentacles there. How much physical something that you're giving to somebody that you're not giving back, or they're giving to you and you're not giving it back. But this talks about imbalance, just straight up imbalance of money, finances, love, whatever. And then confidence, it's clarified by confidence and optimism. So it's like, I do feel like this has something to do with a love situation or a career situation or something where you, like I said, this reading is a lot about putting yourself out there and making yourself vulnerable. And you have to have a certain amount of confidence to do that. And you have to have a certain amount of optimism. Like I said before, when you were a child, you didn't really look at what could go wrong about shit. You thought about what could go right about it. And that's optimism. And that's having confidence. And children a lot of times have a lot of more confidence than adults, because they'll actually go do something that they're like afraid of, or they're like, I don't know about that, but they'll do it anyway. I think also it's an imbalance of your confidence and optimism. Like maybe you're doing shit, but you don't feel confident about it and you don't feel optimistic about it. Definitely that could be a thing. You are putting energy out there, but you don't feel like it's going to turn out how you want to. Of course it's not going to turn out how you want to if you don't think it is. Like, you know, I mean, it's not off chance that it could, but most likely it won't, because your thoughts create your reality. So it's like, also it talks about the energy you give out. If it's balanced, the energy you give out is the energy you get back. What kind of energy are you putting out there towards the things that you want to pursue, even if it's a relationship? Do you feel like if you give out your love and your time and your whatever, that it won't be reciprocated? Because I feel like for some of you, you're not like doing this. You're not like, you know, dating people. You're not in any kind of relationship. You're not nothing, because you don't feel confident and optimistic enough that it's going to work and turn out in your favor. And it will, but you do have to have positive thoughts about it, have positive energy going into it. And it may not the first time, you know, it'll eventually get there. But it's like, you don't know until you try. And I feel like just like a lot of you are just not trying to take risks right now because you feel like it's gonna fail, or you feel like I won't be compensated how I want to be. Maybe because in the past that you weren't. But your past does not have to be your future. I don't know if this for some of you is like you want to put money into something. You want to put money or time into something. I think it's a business maybe. And you feel like you may not get reciprocated the energy that you want to have back. So it's like, you do have to put yourself out there. You do have to go at it with a positive mindset. Otherwise, you know, that's not the greatest. You shouldn't go at it with a negative mindset, because, you know, you're already feeding negative energy into something. You're already putting worry into something that you don't even want to happen. Like, why would you do that? Of course, go into it with a positive mindset. Why not? Okay, so the next card that I have for you guys, I'm just trying to wrap it up here. Whew. Is the Tower card, upright, clarified by the card Power, Revelation, and Opportunity. So the Tower card talks about sudden endings. What else does it talk about? Sudden endings, like shit falling apart, basically. Sudden unexpected endings is really what it talks about. Unstable foundations being crumbled because they were unstable. You know, if a building and the foundation of a building is like shitty, it's not built correctly, it's gonna fall down. Especially with weather and stuff happening, of course it's gonna fall down. So I feel like there's a situation in your life that's very unstable, was built off a faulty or unstable foundation, and it talks about revelations too. Literally, the Tower card talks about like you suddenly realizing like, oh shit, like this never really was gonna work. Like, oh shit, like this isn't based off of good shit, so it's just not gonna work. It's not based off of positivity. It doesn't come from a place of love or anything. So I feel like you guys are realizing about that, either, yeah, maybe I should take another shot of this. Huh? God damn, my hands are cold. Jesus. Oh, look at that doggy. I feel like you guys are realizing in some kind of way, shape, or form that something is not good for you. It doesn't have the kind of foundation. It doesn't feed you like how it needs to. It was like right in the camera. I had to take a shot of alcohol because the bitch is cold and I gotta warm my body up. I feel like you guys are just realizing something's not working. Something wasn't based off of a good foundation. And now, like I said, these endings, I feel like something ended. Something definitely ended with you guys. And I feel like instead of feeling like the world is over and things aren't working for you and blah, 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 look at it as an opportunity. What do they say? God's rejection is your protection. Think about it that way. Realize that if you would have kept going on with that job or that relationship or that situation or in that home situation, that shit probably would have been toxic as fuck and it would not have been good for you. Like, you know, the universe, God is trying to get you out of that situation because you can do better. You are better and you can do better. And that's why that's ending. Endings happen for a reason, period. Even if you feel like you're not ready to let go, it's time for you to let go. Your soul's ready to let go. Your soul's ready to grow and move on. That's pretty much the end of that. So I feel like you guys are realizing this, and if you're not, you will realize it. You will realize like this situation was not good for me. This situation was not going to work. Like I said, there's an opportunity because, you know, when endings happen. Oh God, I can't talk anymore. Jeez. From endings come beginnings. Things have to end for things to begin. So it's like you'll realize that you're going to be freed up for something that you actually want to do. And instead of feeling like I said, disempowered, be empowered by it. Be like, oh my gosh, this is what happened. This is why it happened. And I'm going to take this lesson and I'm going to move on. Because when you have that knowledge, you take that with you. And you don't have to go through that situation again unless you refuse to learn what the fuck you need to learn from it. Then you will go through that situation again. Like in a different place with a different person or whatever. Be empowered by it. There's power in endings too, because it's like now I free my space up for something that I really want. Now I can really go after something else. I didn't realize it and I wasn't ready to let go, but so what? It happened. You can't stop it from happening. All you can do is move forward from there. Be empowered by it. Whatever this is, it's ending. It's for a good reason. I don't know what this is specifically. Like, you know, if you want to get a personal reading to hash out specifically what it's for or to help you out with that, but whatever it is, it's a good thing. Especially if it's clarified by opportunity and power. The universe is trying to tell you this needed to go. And there is opportunity for you to seek something that is more fulfilling to you, and an opportunity for you to be more empowered as a person. Don't take that victim mentality on, because that's not what this is for. For whatever ended, don't feel like, oh my God, woe is me, and like all this shit happened to me. That's not what it's for. It's for you to realize you can do better, for you to realize to get you where you really want to go. Okay, so the next card that I have for you guys, I'm almost done. This is the Star card upright, clarified by the card Triumph. So this card is, again, talking about, you know, you got another person 1 foot in water, 1 foot on land. So this is talking about your emotions correlating with your outside world. Like what you feel on the inside, what you believe about yourself is going to be a reflection of your outside. So I feel like, and this card also has to do with optimism and believing in yourself, and being vulnerable enough to let people see who you really are. What else does this talk about? I think it just pretty much talks about that. Faith. Might be something that I'm missing with this, but I think it's like faith and optimism and believing in yourself, basically. And it was clarified by the card Triumph. So it's like, this is what you need to do. Oh. This is what you need to do. You need to get your emotions in check in the inside, and your outside will reflect that. If you feel better in the inside, your outside will start to reflect it eventually. and you will be triumphant. You will be successful. You will get the outcome that you're looking for. But you know, you're gonna have to get right on the inside. You're gonna have to believe in yourself. I think this card is about believing in yourself too. Faith and belief in yourself, if I didn't already say that. But yeah, I just feel like definitely getting your emotions in check, and your outside will reflect it. Because the energy that you give out, you better believe you will get that energy back. And if you're putting out positive energy, it will come back, I promise. And it talks about, like, you know, being the star of your own movie, living life how you want to. For some of you guys, you need to be vulnerable. You need to put yourself out there. You need to do whatever it is the fuck that you've been wanting to do, that you've been afraid to do. Because what is fear? Fear is not real. And if you just be vulnerable and live life, just be yourself. Because you're here to be you. You're not here to be someone else. You're not here to act like someone else. You're here to act like you, whoever that is. You at your core. And that's what's going to get you what you want. And that's what's going to get you where you want to be. In whatever situation this is in life. Okay, so the last two cards that I have for you guys. I got to warm up my hands because they're like ice cold. Like they're not really bending correctly. So give me a second here. But, well, these two cards came out together. And they are the Eight of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Swords in reverse. So the Eight of Swords in reverse talks about healing. I mean, the Eight of Swords in reverse talks about releasing yourself from self-imposed restrictions, coming out of confusion, gaining the clarity that you need, being free. Because, you know, in this card, she's all tied up and stuff like that. But, you know, those rags look pretty loose. She can get out of it. And the swords that are surrounding her, it's like all mental energy. It's mental things that you feel like have really brought you down. And it's coming out of that. And the Ten of Swords in reverse is almost like the same type of thing. But it's like, you know, healing from it. Healing from maybe being stabbed in the back. Healing from things that your mental thoughts. Like something that's brought you down. Maybe it was a situation that happened. Or maybe it was people. Whatever it was like something that really, you know, in your mind, you felt like, you know, looking upright, you couldn't take no more. I can't take no more of this. I can't do no more of this. And this is coming out of it. Like, you know what? Okay, I'm better now. I'm healing. I realize that I have control over my thoughts. And it's clarified by this card, enjoyment. And I think the other card was play. I think it was, clarified by the card enjoyment. The card's enjoyment and play. So it's like, look, now that you've gotten yourself out of this mental prison that you've built for yourself, now that you're starting to look at things optimistically, now that you don't feel trapped, because you're never trapped, you can always get out of a situation. You're just never trapped. You're never trapped because your mind is always open. You can never be trapped when you have control over your mind. No one can trap you in it unless you allow them to, and you can't trap yourself unless you allow yourself to. Your mind is infinite, so how could you be trapped, you know? But yeah, when these two cards in reverse, clarified by enjoyment and play, it's like, now you need to think of good thoughts. Now you need to enjoy yourself. Now you need to go play. You've came out of this dark place in your mind, I feel like, and now you need to go and enjoy life. And if this isn't you, if you haven't come out of it, then this is what you need to do. You need to realize that, like, it's like you're thinking so many negative thoughts, and this is just getting you reeled down. This doesn't have nothing to do with nobody else or no outside kind of circumstance. Yeah, there could be outside circumstances that are shitty, but I'm telling you right now, they don't have to be that way because you have control over your mind. There's plenty of situations, people all over the world that have been in some very trying times, and they've triumphed through it because of their inner resolve, because of their mind, because of their confidence. And I feel like overall in this reading, this is a big message. Not only just putting yourself out there, vulnerability and things of that nature, but it's just like, look, you can do this. You can get through this, whatever is going on with you, because you have the power in your mind to get through it. Now you need to think of thoughts that make you happy. Think of thoughts or do things that make you happy. Enjoy yourself. Especially if you're healing from a situation where somebody stabbed you in the back, or a situation, you know, maybe it was that tower moment that you felt like that. If you're healing from that, now it's time to go do things that you like to do. Go play. Go have fun with your friends. Go express your emotions to people. But just get out there. Live life. Why are you here if you're not living life, you know? you're meant to live life. You're meant to be here and enjoy yourself. You're not meant to just stay in a fucking hidden corner under a rock somewhere and be depressed. Like, that's not the point. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna feel sad or upset or angry or mad or whatever, but it's like the point of you being here is to, first of all, be yourself, live your life, enjoy yourself, learn things, teach things to people. But it's definitely like to enjoy yourself, to enjoy this human experience, to enjoy a soul being put in a body. I feel like you guys need to really understand that right now. To just let go, let it go, whatever it is, let it go. Go do something else. Like, just seriously, let that shit go. Because you'll regret it. Like, you know, and you don't want to have no regrets. You shouldn't have no regrets. As you get older, you'll just be like, man, I should have been doing this. I should have been doing that. I could have been doing all these things. Just let that shit go. And do whatever it is that makes you happy. Even if you feel like you'll look stupid to people or foolish to people, who gives a fuck about what other people think? It's only about what the fuck you think. And what makes you feel good. This is your human experience, not their human experience. They're having their human experience in their body. You're having yours and yours. So you do what the fuck you want to do with your body. You do what the fuck you want to do with your life. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever floats your boat, as they say. So anyway, I'm going to pull one more card for you guys, which is like an overall kind of like wrap it up card to bring things together for this reading. My hands are so like cold, so I'm gonna try to like shuffle these cards. It's gonna be like a little bogus shuffle, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, I'm really happy that I got to do this out here for you guys, because I feel like with Taurus and being connected with the earth, being an earth sign, it was really refreshing. Even though it's cold as fuck out here, I'm still happy that I got to do it. All this fresh air, all this nature, all this good energy is just like super helpful. Okay, so what? Ooh.
I'll have to go take a picture of that.
Go take one.
You good?
Yeah. Okay, so a couple cards came out. Yeah, I think that's it. So a couple cards came out here. I'm like so like, I don't know if I look unput together, but I'm so unput together right now. Like, my hands are so cold. I'm just like sniffling all over the place. Okay, so this is what we were talking about. And you even got this card to clarify that Six of Cups in reverse. You guys got the cards growth and release. When I was like, I was just saying, what was I just saying? Let that shit go. Release. I already know what this card is about, and I think I know what this card is about too, but I'm going to take a look in the books so that you guys can get a better understanding, and so that I know actually for sure what the fuck I'm talking about. So, this card implies personal commitment and following one's heart. It is about honoring your growth and the growth of others. There is a sense of courage and abundance and an ability to stand tall. This is time to uphold what your heart knows true. What did I say? Come from your heart space, right? Let me just find the card here. It says, your message is best expressed when you are uniquely you. Grass is excited. He is ready to tell his best friend Weed that he is gay. But Weed reacts negatively and is the first of many judgmental encounters for Grass. For years, he is turned down for jobs, and even when he applies for an apartment, Grass fights for the right to live where he wants and wins. But soon after he moves into his new apartment, someone breaks in and attacks him. In the hospital, his loved ones gather, sharing stories of who Grass was to them. He dies, leaving behind his legacy of love and courage. It says, Grass says, break away. It may be time for a change of scenery. Visit a foreign country, embark on a new enterprise, or learn a new skill. Most importantly, grow. What have I outgrown, and am I willing to become independent? Taking a stand, living in your truth, lack of safety, clashing values, teaching by example, warrior, peace, and courage. So yeah, this is a lot what I was talking about, that you guys need to just do what you want to do, no matter what people are going to think about you. Like, even if it's following your dreams, even if it's your sexuality, whatever it is that you feel like you want to do, that other, you feel like I said, when you express your thoughts, or when you put yourself out there and express how you feel to people, you may think that people think it's outrageous. Who gives a fuck? Who cares if they think it's outrageous? If you think that you should do that, then you do that, because you're growing. You're not the same person that you used to be before, and you don't like the same things that you used to like. And just because they're uncomfortable with it, or they want to stay in that fucking box, doesn't mean that you have to stay in that box. It talks about being independent, you know, living in your truth, and basically people will recognize you for that. Eventually they will. You know, they may feel like, oh, he or she is like so different, or they're, you know, being so whatever, but you know, at the end of the day, when they get older, they're the ones who are going to have the regrets about not doing what they really wanted to do. They want to be so cool, or just be, you know, how everybody else is in society, and that's not what it's about. It's just not what it's about at all. It's about you living your life and being happy with what you're doing. So then the release card, this card says, see all that you are, for you possess a power that you have yet to understand. This may feel daunting, but great freedom awaits you if you meet your shadow self. Profound inner wisdom is coming to you. Stand steady. You are more than you know. Give me 1 second here. The wind is blowing. It says, I can no longer keep your secrets. Nikita cuts through the graveyard as she rushes home in the wind and rain. She's terrified when Shadow Gray Storm appears and speaks to her in her own voice, repeating painful things that she has said to herself and others. It's your fault. I'll never forgive any of you. As she listens in the rain to her own words, she learns that she is the one who has been making herself miserable. She leaves the graveyard with a changed heart and ready to forgive herself and others. This is about personal responsibility and release of blame. It is clear. It's time to clear the debris and move on. You cannot move forward while you continue to hide. This card indicates healing family of origin issues. Am I ready to face my past and let go? It talks about release, dwelling on the past, righteous anger, changing consciousness, judgment day, seeing clearly, hidden truth, great discovery, healing, remission, and integration. So definitely I feel like there's some of you who need to let go and forgive people who've done things wrong to you, like that last 10 of Swords card that I was talking about. Let go and heal. Let go, because like I was just talking about this in Aries reading, if you let that shit stay inside of you, that shit will eat you up. That shit will manifest itself as a disease. It will manifest itself as something. You better believe it. It will. Let it go for yourself. Not because like, oh, I want to let it go for them. Let it go for yourself, because whoever holds that shit inside of them, regardless, they may have forgiven themselves, but they may have not. But whoever is holding on to it is the person who's going to suffer. Or being angry with the universe, or being angry with God because it's like you don't feel like you got what you deserve. And let it go. Let go of what happened to you in the past. It's not worth it. Just move on to the future. Don't feel like I deserve to be. You don't deserve to be. Yes, you can be angry about something. Let's just say that. You can be angry about something. But you also need to let it go. Like not letting go of shit that happened years ago. For what? You know? Forgive that person. And let that go. That doesn't mean that you have to be friends with them. That doesn't mean that you have to let them in your life anymore. But just forgive them. For you. And forgive yourself for what part that you played in it. And like I said let that shit go. Like at the end of the cards, just let it go. But yeah, it's pretty much just talking about whatever happened to you. Maybe there's an ending. Maybe you're pissed off at an employer for letting you go, or maybe you're pissed off at somebody for backstabbing you or betraying you or whatever. Like, it's not worth it to keep that stuff inside of you, because you're better than that. And you lead by example. When you can forgive people and move on, you're setting the tone for something. You're leading by example. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Sorry that this reading was all over the place and whatnot, because I'm outside and I'm cold as fuck. But if you like what you heard today, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Just check out the description box, because there's a lot of important information down there, like how to find your birth chart. If you want to book a personal reading, that information is below. And I'm going to also put a description about what's going on planetarily, and the transits that are coming into your sign and how they may relate to you. What else? I also have a link to my other channel that I'm going to be starting up on YouTube that talks about like the law of attraction and just basically changing your mind to change your perspective. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So until next time, love and light to you all. Bye.